So, the crazy thing is that it's been a whole month since I worked on the interior of the house. Okay, this is me continuing the structure of this. Let's get going. A little recap. This is the room I've been living in ever since I bought the house 2 years ago. I did these elevations and the 3D models some months ago of what I want this room to look like. It will be clad in timber just like the kitchen, a very clean and uniform base, but since I'll be making everything myself, it will be a little bit more rustic when I'm done with it. There will be a library, a desk, and a bunket seating area which can also be turned into a spare bed. So it will mainly be a study/working area with an option to also use it for dining if I have people visiting. So I'm starting with the library build. I'm not just making a bookcase unit, but I'm essentially building out the wall, so I decided to build the framework for this first. I'm going to put it together on the floor and then erect it. Doesn't fit. The ceiling kind of bows down. Oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, this should work. I'm just looking at this and I'm realising that I got a measurement wrong. Oh no. I'm hoping that third time's a charm. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Solid! First layer of framework is up. And since I did this yesterday, I pretty much decided that I want to change the whole thing. It is really exciting to watch something actually come alive, but I immediately noticed a couple of issues and they sort of have me rethink the entire design for that whole wall. Okay, first I realized that I made a mistake with my drawings. There's two types of doors here, interior doors and exterior doors, and they look exactly the same. And when I first started doing my elevation drawings, I took the measurements of an external door. The top of the external doors aligned with the top of the windows. The bookshelf that I was going to put into these recesses, big bookshelf here, smaller bookshelf here. The top of that one aligned with the top of the windows and the top of the doors, but interior doors are actually much shorter than the exterior doors. And I have no idea how I could have overlooked that living here for 2 years. Then I realized that having that header on top of the bookshelves would actually visually lower the ceiling. So when I put in this framework with, you know, almost floor to ceiling recess, I really liked the idea. I was trying to do new elevations and drawing it up, and I'm basically just confusing myself a lot. But I know that I am going to do it different. Just trying to figure things out as I change it and finish the framework first and then start cladding it. Okay, believe it or not, this is 2 days of work, and I did it wrong. Out of those 2 days, I probably spent an entire day just trying to figure out construction. I have this doorway that's going to be here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attach all the timber. I have the timber boards underneath here starting. Do I attach them to the supports to the underside or the top side? Resting it on top is easier. However, if I do it to the underside, it allows for the top of the recesses to align with the underside of the ceiling.
Okay, this is a very confusing story I'm telling here, and I didn't share this for you to follow along with my predicament, but more so to understand all the different elements I'm trying to consider while constructing this unit. Long story short, there's a lot of thinking involved. I could do more detailed construction drawings, but everything in the house is so crooked that they would actually just be useless, so it's best to just figure it out while I'm building it and measure everything as I go along.
So I have to take this whole thing apart now, but I guess that's okay. Oh yes, okay. Okay, it's almost there. Except it's not. Oh! I just got this idea which I'm really excited about. My very first designs for this bookcase actually had like a library magazine shelf in it, and I think this is why I'm going to use this ladder, which I picked up in the shop, discounted to like less than 10 euros. Haven't quite figured out the rest yet, but I put this in and I'm just really excited about it. I think this is really cool and it makes it come together a bit. And if I put it on piano hinges, I might do that because then I can lift it up and access what's underneath as well. I'm trying basically to elongate this bookcase vertically. So I'm going to put this a little bit lower, and then underneath I'll have cabinets with some open shelf at the top. I think the best thing to do is just to start cladding this entire thing, because I keep doing drawings in CAD and I keep just changing my mind anyways. I feel like I just need to do things in real life and then just go with it. But before I do that, I'm going to move on with this side of things, because I have more materials for this desk and I don't have all the materials to finish all of this. I just took the timber that I still had back in the shed. Timber I've had for a long time, but it appears that the shed might be a bit more leaky than I thought it was. And also there's mice. I think there's a mixture of mice, pee and water damage to a lot of these boards. Luckily most of my timber is in the house, so I'm going to clean everything really well before I use it. Okay, this is timber I have, which is going to be the trims around windows and doors. I have some for the doors in the
entry and the windows in the room I'm renovating now. So I just need to make sure that I pick the right lengths because I already cut them roughly to size. So I am back to doing the one job that I've probably spent most of my time doing during this renovation, which is sanding. I have to say it gets really boring, but also that I did a really nice job on these bits of wood. I'm also staining them before fixing them to the window. I usually stain everything before fitting it, so I can get in all the gaps and grooves, but this time I won't be doing that for the walls. I'm actually just going to sand everything down and then I'll stain it in one go later on. Anyways, after carefully measuring all the timber and making sure I had enough for everything I needed, I did manage to cut the top section wrong, not once but twice, which is almost impressive. So I had to sand more timber, but luckily the sections I cut wrong can still be used for the doors in the entryway. I also very carefully measured where to place the nails right in the center of the timber, but then realized too late that they wouldn't actually fix to anything because they're placed just on the edge of the windowsill, if that makes any sense. So then I had to add more nails off center, which I tried to place in locations that look intentional. So now it appears as though there are additional decorative nails, even though they're really not. Then came the job of cladding the wall in tongue and groove. So this turned out to be another time-consuming task. I had left the existing corners and skirting because I know from ripping it out in the kitchen that it's a huge task and they're fitted with huge nails. So it's much easier to just leave them and clad right on top of them. But that does mean that I needed to route out some of the backside at both the top and the bottom of all of the planks. So once I did that, I cladded a large section of the wall and I left a small gap around the window, which will be covered later on with some additional detailing.
This wall bulges out a bit, as you can see. gonna continue this today. This might be the last day I'm gonna be working on this for the rest of the week. I might want to go and do some other things like pick berries. Although it is raining. It's raining quite a bit. So who knows what I'll end up doing, but for now I have this. I don't know why, but this doesn't line up. To the top, it's like perfectly symmetrical. As opposed to continuing that wall, I'm actually going to start cladding this. I feel like I just really want to start seeing this little like library unit come alive and see what it looks like with some timber on. And I think it's going to inform my future decisions on how I'm actually going to, like what I am actually going to make it look like. Is that a sentence? Yeah, that's good enough. It's almost 9 and I am exhausted. So today I spent all day doing just this. Just this. You know, I'm realizing that a table saw would be really useful right now. So that 1, you can make long vertical cuts fast. And 2, you can make straight vertical cuts. Now that would be a luxury. Anywho, I have a jigsaw. And yeah, this is, I mean, everything is very crooked. But, you know, it's a rustic cabin. So it's okay. I spent 9 days on all of this. I was also trying to imagine how long it was actually going to take for me to finish this room. And I have no idea. No idea. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna go pick some berries. I'm back. I mean, I'm not really back. I gave myself the day off, but it's grey and raining outside, and all I've been doing is research materials and think about this unit. So I'm going to figure out if my dreams can come true. Does that make sense? I don't know. The height of the desk. These are going to be cupboards. I want some open shelves on top of these. Because the space, this house is so small, I want things to kind of line up even if they're in different rooms, just to kind of keep it uncluttered. So this is the height of the kitchen counter. Okay, open shelving, 3 cupboards, and then this would be right on top of this shelf here. So it's not confusing us anymore. And normally you'd want to align the shelf on top of the door with the shelf on the bookcase. It's sort of a weird short length, so I don't know whether I actually want to do that. To be fair, this shelf would line up with that doorway. This is going to have little shelves here. That would be like like this. I think I don't feel bad about this. I kind of like this. Okay, I'm done. Bye.
If you've been watching my previous videos, you will know that my parents were visiting me. We of course worked on the greenhouse, but we also did quite a bit of gardening, and we went on a couple of hikes. I just wanted to end this video with a couple of images from those days, and I will see you again in the next video, in which I will be continuing the library build. I will see you again then.